Saquon Barkley is one of the most electrifying talents in the NFL, but what about his life outside of game day? How does he prepare to be one of the greatest running backs of a generation? What's his workout routine like, and how does this Eagles superstar relax and get away from football? This is a day in the life in one of the NFL's most impressive talents, Saquon Barkley. Now, Saquon Barkley was born in the Bronx before moving to the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania at a young age. He was always an inquisitive kid with 1,000 questions about life, purpose, and the world beyond his family home, and that curiosity bled into football the moment he found it. While out for a drive with his father, the car rolled past a peewee football field with kids of similar age practicing in helmets and pads. And from that moment on, Barkley was hooked. He had wanted to play, to feel the energy of suiting up and charging with a football, but he'd missed the cutoff date for the season. He'd have to wait almost a full year, but he finally did get his wish, and he had signed up to play for the youth football team in Pennsylvania. His father, Alabay, boxed, and his great-uncle, Iram Barkley, is a former WBC middleweight champion. So I mean, honestly, it was easy to see that the competitive nature was in his blood, and for him to finally be able to channel that into football was something special. And it was actually so interesting too when looking this up too, because at 8 years old, he had a very special kind of bet with his dad. Alabay, his father, had made him a deal that if he could score 15 touchdowns that season of youth ball, he'd give him $100. And well, sure enough, the 15th came on an 80-yard touchdown run, surging away from a herd of kids for the score. With a smile on his face, Saquon collected his first paycheck from his own father. That competitive drive has guided Saquon Barkley through an impressive high school career, which led him to the Penn State Nittany Lions. He stayed close to home, wanting to make a name for himself in the state he had grown up in. And it was at Penn State actually that the world would just kind of start to know the name of Saquon Barkley while he was at Penn State. And truly, that was when the greatness of Saquon Barkley would be released upon the world and really shown how generational this kid was at the running back position. And I mean, honestly, we all probably do remember it too, where his workouts had all gone viral while he was at Penn State. He was getting national attention for his lifts and breaking school records in the process. His intent started at the back end of his freshman year. He wanted the record and got to work. He initially posted a 390-pound power clean, matching the school record set by an offensive lineman. But he kept working and eventually posted a brand new record of 405 pounds. I mean, this kid was running a sub 4.40, benching nearly 400 pounds, and squatting at 495 pounds for several reps. Like, he is an absolute freak of nature, a generational athlete, and had made all of these headlines before he had even walked onto the stage of the NFL draft. His mentality and where he got all this kind of inspiration from, well, it was simple. If he puts the work in the weight room, then it's going to pay off and translate onto the football field. He said, "I try to be an explosive athlete because of the position I play. Squats are key for me to build that strength in my quads, as I'm able to squat 650 to 700 pounds. He went on to further say that he's not doing it to put on weight or be a musclehead. Those 650-pound lifts are about helping me run through a 350-pound defensive tackle. And if I can do a 400-pound power clean, that can make me explosive enough to make a linebacker miss and help me jump over tacklers." Like, I mean, everything was about preparation, which is why he gets such a good lengthy sleep the day prior, and that allows him to recover from all the activities and attack the next day even stronger. In the mornings, he tends to opt for a plant-based smoothie loaded with healthy proteins and fats with complex carbohydrates that will allow him the energy that he needs to sustain his workload throughout the day. Barkley gets up early and opts for something like meditation yoga to settle into the day as well. Once he's stretched, prepped, and fueled his body, he goes about his wild workout routines. And now that's where it depends on the time of the year and proximity to the football season, where he could be working on strength or explosiveness or even his conditioning. And I mean, honestly, as we all saw at Penn State in the weight room, Saquon Barkley is in a class of his very own at the weight and size that he is. Like, those power cleans were viral for a reason, but the fact that he can squat 700 pounds is absolutely insane. It makes for a little healthy competition with his quarterback Jalen Hurts. Between the two of them, the power in the Eagles' backfield is absolutely absurd, and it's been evident on the field in 2024. Saquon Barkley broke the Eagles' single-season rushing record previously set by LaShawn McCoy in early December against the Carolina Panthers, and by the time that the regular season is over, he might have the NFL record too on the great Eric Dickerson's heel. He was always great in New York, but the now widely publicized split from the Giants has given him a chance to prove himself all over again in a new team. And what better way than to return home and play for the Eagles? The Giants decided that paying a franchise running back the $15 to $16 million per year that he wanted was ridiculous. And in the words of their GM, you're paying the quarterback $40 million. It's not to hand the ball off to a $12 million back. And well, now as we've all come to see too, the Giants are just happily at the bottom of the NFL, and I'm sure that a lot of people are about to lose their jobs in that franchise. Go them. Meanwhile though, Saquon Barkley is getting ready to contend for a Super Bowl on the Philadelphia Eagles, and that quote from their GM may go down as one of the just dumbest remarks and just stupidest remarks that the Giants have ever fumbled and are going to have to live with for the rest of their lives. As for Saquon Barkley though, he keeps his head down and he's going to keep going and working. You won't find him slacking off or partying. He grinds as hard as anybody in the game. Now trading in the struggling New York Giants for a genuine contender in Philly, you have to feel his motivation for greatness is higher than ever. His offseason workouts are all in preparation to withstand a 20-week football season. He does a lot of work with resistance bands with the likes of push-ups, pull-ups, chin-ups, and more, working on the explosiveness of his body through those movements. Then he'll get out on the field and work on his agility, sprint speed, and his ab workouts are absolutely insane. Like, it's not difficult to see exactly how Saquon Barkley has positioned himself as one of the most successful backs in the NFL, and even in his 7th year, he looks like he could go for another decade with ease. But Barkley's philosophy towards just fitness and football really stems from his attitude for life. He acknowledges that his ability to live a long, healthy life full of memories starts with your diet. And when he sat down with Essence in early 2024, he went on to say, "We're fed so much nonsense and BS. To just be completely honest, if you can focus on healthier eating habits, I feel like it's just going to give you a better opportunity to live a long, healthier life." Like, really, if you break it down to the core of everyone, it's what can I do to stay on this planet and have a life that has a lot of memories? And it starts with eating. It starts with your diet and nutrition. And it's fair to say that he is practicing exactly what he preaches too, especially when you see the kind of food and just eating clean that he does do. Like, I mean, life away from the game and just the gridiron in general brings a completely different aspect of Saquon that not many people know about. He met his long-term girlfriend, Anna Cogden, while at Penn State in 2017. She had played high school basketball, an athlete in her own right, and backed Saquon throughout his college career. The relationship quickly moved from a frat party date to Instagram official, and they've been together ever since. In April of 2018, Jada Claire Barkley was welcomed into the world and Saquon became a father. His daughter is his biggest fan, cheering him on in some of the most adorable Instagram posts with her mom. When asked about being a father to a little girl, Saquon said, "Always gotta try to set the standard for her because her image of a man is gonna be off of me." Fast forward to 2022 in September, Saquon and Anna had a son named Saquon Jr. And actually in the 2024 season, it brought a beautiful family moment to the field when Saquon connected with his kids and Anna on the field. His daughter had a sign that read "Go Daddy," and the two shared a unique handshake. Barkley picked up his son and told the family he loved them. I mean, the dude is a guy that has been the perfect role model from day one. His demeanor's never wavered, and when he signed with the Eagles, he showed up humble, thankful, and with his family by his side to shake hands and sign the contract. I mean, there was no lavish outfit, just a kid in NFL sweats ready to work, and of course, he made sure that he checked out the weight room and shook hands with the strength and conditioning staff. The video, also produced by the Eagles, shows Saquon taking photos at the contract signing with his family before helping Saquon Jr. try on a Philly helmet, making himself right at home. His daughter told him how cool he was as he walked around the facility with his name in lights and the Eagles staff all excited to see him in the building. His daughter's love is clearly very important, with Saquon keeping an "I love you dad" note in his locker in Philly. His family motivates him to be great every day, setting a prime example knowing that they're watching. His competitive edge extends way past the gridiron too. Barkley is a fiery ping pong player and he loves to golf. So when he's not out working out, squatting the whole rack, or spending time with his family, you might catch him out on the course. In fact, Barkley has had the pleasure of playing golf with Barack Obama, having been invited to a course event by team owner Jeffrey Lurie during his first season with the Eagles. And as we all know, Barack Obama is pretty famously just a big sports guy too, and not only that, but he is very competitive as well. The 44th president and Eagles owner won the match, beating out Barkley and his partner. According to Saquon, there was a little bit of trash talk, but nothing out of the ordinary for those who wouldn't want to be the best in their field. Barkley took the time to ask Obama some questions too, as he wanted to learn as much as he could from a man who got to lead the country. And while he's not really a political person, nor would he care which side of the political debate Obama did represent, Barkley Barkley does care about being the best version of himself and wanted to learn more about how to be a leader. He recognized Obama shaking every person's hand he came across on the golf course that day. I mean, the caddies, the staff at the club, asking each and every one of their names and showing genuine care and attention in every interaction. He learned a lot and was given some very personal advice that he could take back into his own life going forwards. Next on his list, though, to play golf with, I'm sure has to be someone like, I don't know, Tiger Woods probably. But I mean, as we dive into his life a little bit deeper, it is a little bit tough to try and find just some things about his public lifestyle, as he does try to keep as much just private about him as he can, which I totally respect as an NFL player. I mean, he loves the game and his life centers around it as a result. You don't get to where he is without a work ethic that will consume every day. He fuels his body in a way that allows him to be the greatest athlete he can and has been working out religiously since high school to take his fitness through the roof. Even in the NFL, Saquon stands out as a premium athlete. Few can hurdle a guy in the league successfully or with the consistency that Barkley has managed. And I mean, nobody has ever hurdled a guy backwards either. Like, I mean, Barkley truly became one of one that day, and with the most impressive and unique highlights the NFL has ever seen. In Philadelphia, the man deserving of playoff football has found it. For years, he embodied the Giants, leading a franchise that disowned him as soon as they got the chance. But I mean, that's the business. He understands that, but when it comes down to it, he was never going to pass on the Eagles out of respect for a team that undervalued him so publicly. The decision to let him go might be sour for John Mara and the Giants, but for Saquon, he's on a top 5 team, a team capable of making the Super Bowl and winning it on their day. It's a franchise that understands what it takes to win, with many of the pieces in place to achieve their goals. Add in that work ethic that he's displayed throughout his life as a role model for not only kids, but kids all over the world, he may just end in Super Bowl success in that all-important ring on his finger. And if you want to see exactly what NFL players think about Jordan Love, then click this video right here.